Hello YouTube, it is I, the Amazing Curious Circus, with another video. And today I wanted to, before I start my video, I wanted to talk about just mention that I wanted to mention that I'm not using a program called Easy Effects to actually to manage some of the sound stuff with with in Linux because I don't have a good enough program, because I've been having like audio mixing issues. I've been having a lot of audio mixing issues with because I've been having a lot of audio mixing issues with Linux, and I just wanted to kind of just plug this program before we start getting into the video. And so, without further ado, let's talk about our subject. Now, came across this quote by David Martin Lloyd Jones that said that the Christian is not a good man. He is a vile wretch who has been saved by the grace of God. Yeah, that reminded me of all the relationships that I've destroyed by breaking my vows and oaths. Like in the case of Billy Core of Nostalgia Mall, and Jay Wakefield of the Flying Scotsman, and Jack Starvis, for to name like people from a long ass time ago that I broke my word with. I got into dumbass arguments with, and people, and just I made a total ass myself. Or total fool of myself, I should say. And that happened like, kind of funny. That happened like 10 years ago and a month. 10 years and a month ago. And it's been 10 years. Almost 10 years. A little bit more than 10 years. And when I mean a little bit more, I mean like a couple months after getting banned from the Retro Computers and Packard Bell Planet Facebook group. I wasn't willing to accept the fact that I had screwed up, and I had screwed up big time. And it wasn't even that bad, because the real screw up was falsely accusing Billy Core and Jay Wakefield, and for whatever reason going after Jack Starvis. I really don't care if those people comment on my channel. At this point, it happened like 10 years ago. And that's not. And this is kind of the introduction to the video and the video at hand. I had suffered condemnation and revulsion for things that I had said as well as done. As far as some of those people were concerned, I might as well have been considered a Dalit, or untouchable, or in other words, an untouchable. And that's kind of the sad part about all of that. And I'll be right back. Yeah, now that I'm back, well, let's continue this. Continue with what I was saying. What I've learned is that Krishna shows no difference between the so-called righteous and the unrighteous, because both are susceptible to the temptation of an inflated persona. Eventually the righteous, especially the righteous, rather, Excellence does not come from merely rising up from nothing, because it is contingent upon bending down to pick up people. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, and I understood as a child. But now that I am a man, I have no need for foolish, childish ways, and I have no need for help in my voice. How does this happen? Wise instruction, as well as wise company, or wise association. You know, I've had none of in my life to do that. Without a teacher, one does not simply rise up to become great. No warrior was made strong, wise as well as strong, by his own making. Being taught by wise, strong, and truly powerful men is great mercy upon you when you're just a child, and something that a guru bestows upon others in order so that you may do the same as well. It's kind of simply like that. You know, at best, all we start out as Shudras, laborers. At worst, we sink down into becoming untouchables. The man who pays no ear to the purely democratic, hypocritical court of public opinion, who is also sincere in his repentance, can regain what he had lost. Imagine, if you will, the poor sap, the man that became famous but eventually falls from grace so hard that other Dalits, untouchables, Chandalas, pariahs, won't leave him alone. Just imagine being EDP 445, for instance, not being able to get a job because Democrats, not the political party. Think more Dalit, think more Chandala, think more pariah. Keep on canceling your ass to oblivion on account of you having had in the past inappropriate relations as well as inappropriate conduct with a minor. You know, being famous sucks ass. Yeah, it's why being famous is overrated. Like, the worst is that he never does get back everything. You've heard it said unto you that mercy towards the guilty is cruelty towards the innocent. But consider the following, if you will, that cruelty towards the guilty makes very little to no room to no room for repentance. And perennialism is not recognizing one universal truth, but rather it is the synthesis of two or more truths. After all, you read in the Gospels that Jesus of Nazareth befriended Dalits, untouchables, criminals, tax collectors, men of dubious character, men of dubious moral character, people of that nature. It's kind of oddly enough, one of those things in the Bhagavad Gita is that Krishna is a friend to all. So it's kind of a similar thing there, when you really think about how common of a theme that is. Even if the whole world banishes you to the pits of perdition's flame, you know, you can rise above all the crap. You can rise above all the judgment by people of less reputable character. And I usually I'd say don't even heed a lot of ear to those people because they aren't much better than you are.
Ho ho! Ha! Ha!